Hello, Chris here. In this 22-part video series, I'm going to show you how to make an animated farm scene like this in Blender. In the previous videos, we made 3 or 4 barns like this and applied materials to them. In this video, we're going to make a silo and apply materials to it. So let's get started. This is what we got up to last time. Now we need to make a silo. In order to do that, we need to first bring back all our barns. So Alt plus H in the keyboard. This will bring back all the barns. Now we need to select this and move it to here. Select this barn, G to move, Y to move along Y axis and place it here. Now we need to hide all these barns, so select the mode using box select, press H in the keyboard. Now we need to place the 3D cursor at the center of the scene, so shift plus S, cursor to world origin. This will place the 3D cursor at the center of the scene. Now change this pivot point to median point. Now we need to add a cylinder, so shift plus A, mesh, cylinder. Go to solid mode. Now go to outliner and change the name to silo. Select this cylinder, press N in the keyboard, change this Z dimension to 0.1. Now we need to apply the scale, so Ctrl plus A in the keyboard, then scale. This will change this all to 1. Now press N to hide this panel. Select the object, go to edit mode using tab, go to face selection mode, select this face, go to front view using numpad 1. We need to extrude this, E to extrude, 6 to extrude 6 meters, then press enter. So we extruded it 6 meters. Now select this top face, shift plus S in the keyboard and select cursor to selected. This will place the 3D cursor at the center of this face. Now we need to add a UV sphere. So shift plus A, UV sphere. Now we need to delete the bottom half of this UV sphere. So go to front view using numpad 1, go to wireframe mode, turn on X-ray mode, go to face selection mode and select everything up to here. Make sure we selected this face too. Now press X in the keyboard, then select faces. This will delete all those faces. Now we need to remove the double vertices. So select all using A key, press M in the keyboard, then select by distance. You'll get a message says removed 32 vertices. Now go to solid mode. Go to edge selection mode, then press Alt and left click on this edge. Now we need to bevel this. So Ctrl plus B in the keyboard and increase the number of cuts to 3 by using the mouse scroll wheel and place it here. Then select this middle edge loop. S to scale, shift Z to not to scale among Z axis and scale it a little. Now this part is distinguished from this part. Now that's ready. Now we need to add a cylinder here and a cylinder here. So go to front view using numpad 1. We need to add a cylinder here. So shift plus A, then select cylinder. Go to this menu, change the vertices to 16, radius to 0.1 and depth to 6 meter. Now go to top view using numpad 7. That cylinder newly added is selected. G to move, Y to move along Y axis and place it here. Make sure it is touching this vertex. So turn on snapping. Make sure it is in vertex snapping. Then go to this point. Then G to move, Y to move along Y axis, place it here. Then G to move again, Y to move along Y axis and place the mouse cursor over this vertex. Then left click. This will place it there. Now go to side view using numpad 3. G to move, Z to move along Z axis and place it here. Now turn off snapping. Now we need to extrude this top face. Go to face selection mode, select this face, E to extrude and extrude it to here. Now S to scale and scale it to like this. Now we need to place a loop cut here. So Ctrl plus R in the keyboard. Left click, then right click to remove any movement. S to scale and scale it a little. And we need to bevel this. So Ctrl plus B and bevel it to here. Now it's looking good. Now we need to add a cylinder here. So go to front view using numbered 1, shift plus A, cylinder. Go to this menu, change the radius to 0.05. Change the vertices to 12 and depth to 5.6. Then press enter. Now go to wireframe mode, G to move, X to move along X axis and place it here. Not touching, nearly there. G to move, X to move along X axis and place it like this. Now G to move, Z to move along Z axis, place it here. And make sure the top face is here in the middle of these two edge loops. Now we need to place a loop cut here. So go to solid mode. Control plus R in the keyboard to place a loop cut. Left click, then slide it to here. Zoom into that loop cut. Since that loop cut is selected, G to move, Z to move along Z axis and place it here. Now we need to delete these faces. So go to wireframe mode, go to face selection mode, select these faces. Make sure the top face is not selected. Press X in the keyboard, then select faces. This will delete that faces, leaving this face and this edge loop. Go to front view, select this face, R to rotate, -90 to rotate -90 degree. Then G to move, X to move along X axis and place it here. Now after selecting that face, go to edge selection mode and shift and box select these edge loops. So this edge loop is selected and this face edge loop is selected. Then press F3 in the keyboard and then type in bridge. Then select this bridge edge loops option. This will bridge that edge loop. Now go to this properties menu that will pop up. Change the number of cuts to 3. Then change the smoothness to 0.62. As you can see, it's looking good. If we go to front view, we can see it's looking good. You can increase the number of cuts to smooth it out if you want. I'm going to leave it here and minimize this. Go to solid mode. Now it's looking cool. Now we need to add a cube here so that we can make a shed here. So press N in the keyboard, go to view option, then change the location of the 3D cursor, which is X value to 0, Y value to -2 and Z value to 1. This will place the 3D cursor here. Now press N in the keyboard, then shift plus A, then select cube. This will add a cube here. Now go to side view using number 3. Go to face selection mode, select this face, go to side view using number 3. We need to move this here. So G to move, Z to move along Z axis and place it here. Now we need to bring down this edge. Go to edge selection mode, select this edge, side view using number 3, G to move, Z to move along Z axis and place it here. Now we need to place a loop cut here. So Control plus R in the keyboard, left click and slide the loop cut to here. Then go to face selection mode, select this face, shift select these two faces too. Then we need to extrude this along the normal. So Alt plus E in the keyboard, select extrude faces along normals and extrude it like this. Now we need to place a loop cut here. So Control plus R in the keyboard, select the loop cut and slide it to here. Go to face selection mode, select this face, shift select these three faces. Don't select the one in the back. Then press Alt plus E in the keyboard, select extrude faces along normals and extrude it like this. Now we need to place a door here and a window here. So we need to add a loop cut. So Control plus R in the keyboard and place it here. We need to add a loop cut here. So Control plus R, left click, right click to remove any movement. We need to place a loop cut here. Control plus R and slide it to here. Then select this edge, S to scale, Z to scale among Z axis, then press 0, then enter. This will make that edge parallel to the ground. We didn't place a loop cut here. This edge loop would have moved. We didn't want that. So then select this, G to move, Z to move along Z axis and place it here. Go to face selection mode, select this face, shift to select this face. We need to insert this. I to insert, press I again to insert them individually. Then change this pivot point to individual origins. S to scale, X to scale among X axis and scale it like this. E to extrude and extrude a little. I to insert, then E to extrude inwards. I to insert again, then right click, subdivide. I to insert again. G to move, Y to move along Y axis and place it here. Now we go to Windows. Now we need to place a door here. I to insert, and S to scale, Y to scale among Y axis and place it like this. G to move, Z to move along Z axis and place it here. Now E to extrude, extrude a little. I to insert and insert it like this. E to extrude inwards. I to insert again. Then right click, subdivide, select these two faces. S to scale, Z to scale among Z axis and place it like this. G to move, Z to move along Z axis and place it here. Then shift to select these two. I to insert and insert it like this. Select these two. G to move, X to move along X axis and place it like this. Select these two. G to move, X to move along X axis and place it like this. Now we got a door here. Now we need to place a tiny ladder here. We can use mirror modifier and array modifier to make that ladder. So go to object mode using tab. You need to move this 3D cursor to here. So shift and right click. This will move that 3D cursor there. So press N in the keyboard, go to view, change the X location to 0. Under the 3D cursor option, change the X to 0, Y to 5, Z to 0. So this will place the 3D cursor here. Then go to item and press N in the keyboard to hide that window. Now we need to add a cube here. So shift plus A, mesh cube. Press N in the keyboard, change the X and Y dimensions to 0.05 and change the Z dimension to 0.3. Now we need to apply the scale. So Ctrl plus A in the keyboard, select scale. Now this will turn to 1. Now press period in the numpad to focus on that cube. Press N to hide this window. Now we need to edit this and into a ladder shape. So go to edit mode using tab. We need to place a loop cut here. So Ctrl plus R in the keyboard and left click and right click to place the loop cuts. Now we need to bevel this. So Ctrl plus B, decrease number to 2. Now we need to extrude this face. So go to face selection mode, select this one, go to side view using numpad 3, E to extrude, extrude it to here. Now we need to delete these faces. So go to wireframe mode, go to face selection mode, select these faces, press X in the keyboard, then select faces. This will delete that faces. Go to solid mode. We need to select this face, shift plus S in the keyboard, then select cursor to select it. This will place the 3D cursor here. Now we need to delete this face, so press X in the keyboard, then faces. This will delete that face. Now we need to delete this face, select this face, press X, then select faces. It will delete this face too. Now the 3D cursor is in the middle of this edge loop. Go to object mode using tab, select the object, right click, set origin to 3D cursor. This will place the origin of that object to the 3D cursor. Now we can apply the mirror modifier. Go to modifier properties, this range icon, add modifier, mirror, then change the axis to Y. Since we place the origin of the object to here, this will mirror the object to here. Then turn on clipping. Now we need to repeat this structure to 6 meters. So we need to add an array modifier, add modifier, array modifier. Then change the factor in the Z axis to 1 and Y and X to 0. So we only need to repeat this along the Z axis. So Z to 1. Now we need to select this to fixed length. So then change the length to 6. As our silo is 6 meters, so they change the length to 6 meter. Now we need to apply our modifier. So select this one first. Select the mirror modifier first, then click apply. Then select the array modifier, then click apply. This will apply the modifier. Now select this object, go to edit mode using tab, select all using A key, then press M in the keyboard, then select by distance. You'll get a message says removed 1252 vertices. Now we have no double vertices in this object. Now go to object mode using tab, go to top view using numpad 7, G to move and move that ladder to here. Then zoom into that object, G to move, need to rotate this, R to rotate and place it here, G to move and place it here. Then R to rotate. Now we have our ladder. Then go to side view using numpad 3. And we need to place this properly. So G to move, Z to move along Z axis and place it here. Then go to top view using numpad 7. Go to wireframe mode. This is the silo. So G to move and place it here. Then go to solid mode. As you can see, this is the silo of the top. We need to move this a little to the here, G to move and place it here. Now it's looking good. Now we need to join these together. So select the ladder first, then shift to select this silo. Make sure this is the active object. Then press Ctrl plus J in the keyboard. This will join that together. Now if we select this object and go to edit mode, we can see our model is looking good. Now we need to select all using A key, press M in the keyboard, then select by distance. This will remove if there are any double vertices. Currently we don't have any double vertices. Now we need to apply materials to our silo. Go to object mode using tab, go to material preview mode. We need to bring back all our bonds. So press Alt plus H in the keyboard. This will bring back all our bonds as you can see. Now select the silo, shift to select one of the bonds, then Ctrl plus L in the keyboard, then select link materials. This will link this material to this silo. Now we need to hide these all from the viewport. So select all of them, press H in the view keyboard. Then select this one, go to edit mode using tab. Then go to material properties. Now we need to apply the roof color. So select this face, shift to select this one. Since there is only a little number of faces, it's easier to select this way. Then select black paint, click assign. And select this face. We can select the face loop here. So make sure we are in face selection mode. Then press Alt and left click on this edge. This will select that face loop. Select white to paint, click assign. So select this face, shift to select this face, and shift to select the rest of them. Then Ctrl plus in the keyboard. This will increase the selection properly. Then Ctrl and box select to deselect these faces. You don't need these face, so Ctrl plus box select. Now it's looking good. Make sure nothing else is selected. Then go to material preview mode, select black paint, click assign. We need to apply material to our door and windows. Select this one, shift to select the rest of our faces. Now Ctrl plus in the keyboard to increase the selection and increase it to here. Select white to paint, click assign. Then Ctrl plus minus to decrease the selection. Then select wood, click assign. Then Ctrl plus minus. Then select glass, click assign. We don't need glass for this door, so select these two faces, click wood, click assign. Now select these faces. Ctrl plus to increase the selection. Select white to paint, click assign. Ctrl plus minus to decrease the selection to here. Select wood, click assign. Ctrl plus minus. Then click glass, click assign. Now we need to give a metallic material here and this one. We can apply the white to paint material to this ladder. So select this face, then press L in the keyboard. Since this is not directly linked to this object, by selecting one of the faces and clicking L in the keyboard, will select that ladder. Then select white to paint, click assign. Now we need to select this one and this one. and assign a different material. So we need to make a new metallic material. So click plus icon here, select this slot, click new, then change this to metal, decrease the value a little, roughness to 0.1, and change the metallic value to 1. Now select that metal material, select these faces, then Ctrl++ in the keyboard. This will increase the selection. Make sure here is a selection that ends. Then select metal material, click assign. It's a little too shiny, so we need to increase the roughness a little, roughness to 0.2. Now we need to select this one and here. So select this face, Ctrl++ in the keyboard to increase the selection. Select it to here. Select the metal material, then click assign. Then select this face, press L in the keyboard. This will select that cylinder. Select metal material, click assign. So you can see our silo is looking good. Now go to object mode using tab. I like this faceted look on this silo, so I'm not going to shade smooth this object. If you want to shade smooth, you can right click and click shade smooth. Since this is looking weird, you can go to object data properties, this triangle icon, then go to scroll down and go to normals and click auto smooth. This will remove that weird effect that's going on. As you can see, without auto smooth and with auto smooth. I'm not going to shade smooth, I'm going to shade flat. I like this faceted look. So if you want to shade smooth your objects, you can turn on auto smooth to smooth angles that are higher than 30 degrees. Or you can change this angle accordingly. Now we got 3 barns and a silo with materials in our scene. In the next video, we will make a windmill and apply materials to it. We will make this windmill in such a way that we can easily animate it in our final scene. If you like this video so far, please give a like to this video in the bottom. If you want to get more videos like this and you're new to this channel, you can subscribe to this channel using the subscribe button at the bottom. And if you want to get notified while I release new videos, you can press the bell icon below. That's it for this video. See you in the next one. Bye for now.